The Air Max 90 is 30 years old and it's dropping all over the place. And then on top of that, we've got a red, white and blue colorway, and there's been a bunch of USA-centric sneakers dropping as well. So together, those two things could make these sneakers one of the hottest sneakers of the season. But secretly, sneakily, Nike have slipped in some extra detail on these guys that I don't think many people are aware of. There's something going on with the leather in here that is definitely worth having a closer look at, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today as we take a look at the Nike Air Max 90 red, white and blue. This is a Talking About a 23 sneaker channel. Talking About a 23 sneaker channel. This is Mainichi Absurunade, Mainichi meeting aside. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today, the upcoming sneaker release that we're talking about is the red, white, and blue Nike Air Max 90, one of the many colorways that are coming out to celebrate 30 years of this iconic silhouette. And it still looks as good today as it did 30 years ago, and it looks like it's a fire silhouette. It definitely isn't out of place out there on the high streets and in the fashion world at the moment as much as it was 30 years ago. It's a cracking looking sneaker, and here we are with this red, white and blue tie-up. Now yesterday I brought another sort of Americo-centric sneaker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a link up to that video, but you don't have to click on that unless you particularly want to. You can leave that link and catch it at the end of the video, because any link that goes up here is there for the duration of the video. So without further ado, let's talk about yesterday's sneaker, which was the New Balance 1300s Levi's collaboration made in US. There's that collaboration there, and that's a very Americo-centric shoe. And I'm not entirely sure why we're seeing a lot of sneakers come out in these kind of colorways, like this red, white, and blue today, or yesterday's tie-up with Levi's to make this kind of all-American shoe. I guess it might be something to do with the Olympics, and maybe because of the national pride that comes with usually a successful Olympics for Team America. Maybe that's got something to do with it, or maybe people are just particularly proud. Maybe it's something to do with it being a presidential election year. I don't know, but for whatever reason, there's a lot of American shoes coming out right now, and this red, white and blue colorway is no different from those. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to look at that in detail, and especially have a close-up look at the leathers on here, because they're not as simple as you might think at first glance. So what we're going to do is take a quick look through the sneaker and look at the detailing on there. Now, I have reviewed a few Air Max 90s down the years, over 500 videos to drop on my channel so far about sneakers, and I've done a couple of city packs. For example, one was a basement city pack out of the UK, and another one was a 5 city pack to celebrate this 30th anniversary year. So I'll chuck up the 5 city pack to celebrate 30 years of the Air Max 90. That link will be there throughout the video, and you can catch it anytime, even now or at the very end of the video. So I have looked at Air Max 90s before, and I do know them quite well. I've never actually owned a pair myself, much to my disappointment. I should really get myself a pair in hand and on feet someday, because they are an iconic silhouette. But I've looked at a few down the years, and now that I remember, there was that Undefeated collaboration as well that came out towards the end of last year, and there have been a few sneakers down the time that we've looked at now, but I've never seen a pair with the leather quite like these on them, and that's kind of one of two main features on the sneaker. The real main feature from afar that I think is very important to really train your eyes in on is just how well they've balanced the colors on this. I don't know if I've seen a sneaker with the color blocking as well balanced as this before. This is really right on the money. First things first, just quickly looking at where the color blocking is. If you take, say, the wraparound on the toe box that runs back through the midfoot in all red, is mimicked by the blocking around the outside of the air unit, and then also by the branding up on the tongue. So 3 hits of red there. But then that's balanced out by the lace stays in blue, the lower portion of the upper in blue, and then right on that roll around from the toe roll that comes up there in blue as well. 3 places there. So you've got 3 reds and 3 blues balancing off against each other. And then it's almost like you've got 3 whites as well, with the panel on the toe box, the white swoosh, and then that sort of insert on the midfoot area. And I think they've done a great job of balancing that out. The reason why I'm saying that And the reason why I kind of walked through very quickly the positioning of the coloring on the sneaker is because when you look at it in terms of where the coloring is not, it helps you to understand how well designed the sneaker is. And what I mean by that is, imagine if you changed out where they have chosen a color with a different color. So let's look at the toe box, for example. Imagine the entire shoe was the same, but the toe box was blue. Way too much blue on there. Or if you go back and have a look at the swoosh on the side, imagine if the swoosh was blue. Nope, wouldn't have worked. Too much blue on there. Or imagine if that midfoot insert was red. That wouldn't have worked. They've gotten it just right to make sure that they've got the blocking right on these guys and the colouring right, so that they are balancing between the three red, white and blue colours and not overbearing on one or the other. So for me, that is kind of the main signature feature of this shoe, is how well balanced the colouring is and the blocking is on there. But the next feature on the shoe that I think is equally important is where they put the materials. And there are three different materials that play on these guys. On the toe box, you can see from the panel on the toe box that it's a mesh going on there, which is not unusual on Air Max 90s to have the mesh on the toe box, but also to have that mesh further back up towards the top line there. Nothing special in that. Then if we come towards the red leathers that you get that wrap around the toe box and run back into the midfoot, again, there's nothing particularly special about that, but it's when you get close up to the blue leathers on here and you start to have a really deep look at them and you think to yourself, that doesn't quite look like I thought it would look. And the best place to do that is on the heel. I know it's a funny place to look at, but it is the best place to have a real close-up look at the blue leather. Now we'll start out wide and again look at the color blocking on the heel of these guys with the red panel and the white branding in it, with the blue wraparound, and then that red panel's on the white. And they've just got that balance of colors really, really spot on the heel of the sneaker. But then if we zoom in and have a close-up look at the blue element in there and have a look at the blue leathering on there, you can see it's almost like it's a dimpled blue leather or something like that. It's not a solid, smooth leather like the red is on the toe box, for example. So, and I'm not sure how much attention that's getting or how much attention it should get. I might be misreading it as something more than it is, but to me, it's kind of a signature feature on these ones, and it's kind of an important element to look at when you think of the whole sneaker and the way the balance of colors are, but then the three different materials that you've got on there, one in the mesh and then the two different kinds of leather in the red and the blue respectively. So so all in all, for me, it's a really clean sneaker. I think they've got everything about it right. I'm not entirely sure how many people want to go and walk around in a red, white and blue sneaker. I could be totally wrong there. If they don't signify that it is, you know, stars and stripes, red, white and blue, you know, British people with the Union flag, French people with the tricolour could easily walk about in these and claim them as their own as well, because I don't think there's anywhere on these that actually specifies that the red, white and blue is the US red, white and blue, but I might be wrong in that, and it might be somewhere in the actual, you know, promotional materials that these are an American shoe as opposed to just a red, white and blue shoe. But either way, it's a clean shoe. The color blocking on it's great. It's interesting to have a look at the detail of those materials on there, and I think people are they're going to take a closer look at it, and that might take them you know, up to the next step and actually digging into their pockets and paying for these guys and getting them on feet. But for me, that's a sneaker that I think is cool that's coming down the line. It's interesting to see, like I said, all these US kind of centric sneakers coming either in tie-up like the Levi's from yesterday or in color like these today with that red, white and blue theme. But for now, it's time for me to sign off. I do want to finish with two things with that red, white and blue theme and the Olympics. The Olympics are obviously here, planned for late July and early August. And I say planned because right now with that coronavirus kicking around, nobody really knows what's going to happen. Nobody will actually come out and say we're going to postpone or cancel the Olympics, but it is a distinct possibility, surely, with like news coming out of places like Italy that they're quarantining millions of people. Then the likelihood of the Olympics going ahead seems kind of, well, it's kind of low. But what I don't want to do is I don't really want to talk about the coronavirus in my sneaker videos, which drop at 7 p.m. Japan time every day. So what I've been doing is I've been going live first thing in the morning at 7:30 Japan time before I come into work, so that you guys can get an authentic look at what life in Japan is like right now with this coronavirus situation. So if you're interested in that, here's a playlist thing that's full of all those live videos of authentic authentic Japan, what it's like here right now, none of the media, none of the hype, none of the spin, and you can see what's going on the ground. And then I'll finish up with the last link that I want to throw up there, and when I do throw up this link, you know, clicking on it will activate all the other links in the video, and you'll be able to go check out another part of my content, and that's the link to the rarest sneakers in the world in hand. Shoe Butter brings us sneakers every Sunday to the channel so that we can check out in hand some of the, you know, samples and prototypes and player exclusives. Incredible, and they're all wrapped up together in one big playlist. So here's that playlist thing. Clicking on that will bring up a list of all of the links that I've thrown up on my video today. Check out any one of those and go and have a look at one of those videos right now. But for now, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content. But because I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.